Welcome to pkpioneers.com tutorials.
So let me show you how to set up POS flags, which is a great way to track miscellaneous information at point of sale. So first off, let's go over to System Preferences. Let's go to Local Preferences, Point of Sale, General, POS Flags Note Field. And here we go. So I've already created one POS flag for you to track marketing information, to find out how people found out about your store. Maybe they were just walking by, or maybe a friend told them about your store, or they saw your newspaper ad, things of that nature. For the second POS flag, let's track gender. So I'm going to type in the flag label. This will show up on the screen, and then the actual options down here. So we'll say female, hit the down arrow, then type in male. And let's go do POS flag 3. And for this one, let's track something like weather. Okay, again, I will change the menu name to weather. Then under the options here, we'll type in snowing as an option, hit the down arrow, maybe raining, down arrow, windy, let's say, down arrow, sunny, and so on. Okay, now let's talk about some of these other options. So now that we have our three flags, so the required flag. If the information you're trying to capture at point of sale is really important, maybe you want to make it a requirement. That means that the cashier will not be able to finish the transaction until they record this information. So we'll mark the marketing POS flag as required. Now gender. Gender is a good option for having a default menu option. So maybe you know for a fact that most of your customers are female. So you can establish a default POS flag as female. So every receipt will initially say female, but you can always change it back to male. And for something like weather, a good default menu option would be last flag. Let's say the store is at a ski resort, and if it's snowing outside for this particular transaction, it's probably going to be snowing outside for the next transaction, and the next transaction, and so on. Once it starts being sunny, and you switch the flag, then it will continue being sunny for the next couple transactions until you switch it again. So that's a good option there. So I'll go ahead and update this. So let's go to a sales receipt so you can see how you track POS flags at point of sale. So we'll select New to create a new sales receipt. And here are the POS flags that we defined: marketing, gender, weather. So let's create a quick transaction here. So we're listing an item, and as we're completing the transaction, we're asking the customer, how'd you hear about us? And they said, oh, we were just walking by. So the cashier would record that information. And let's say the weather outside right now, it's snowing. And they would tender the transaction. Let's say they cash it out. And then update. The next transaction, next customer comes up. Oh, how'd you hear about us? Oh, we saw your ad in the newspaper. And this happens to be a male customer. Okay, it's still snowing outside, of course. And tender. And update. And we're ready for the next transaction. Again, for the weather POS flag, it's going to display the very last option selected, right, which was snowing. And for gender, it's always going to display female. Let's do one transaction here where we don't specify the marketing POS flag. We'll just tender, we'll cash it out, and update. And it's saying, hey, you need to specify the marketing information. So that's a quick reminder for the cashier to record this information, for the cashier to record this information, and then they can tender. Okay, they already cashed out, and update. So that's how you define and use POS flags to quickly capture miscellaneous information at point of sale.
Please like, share, and subscribe.